Hello! Welcome wherever you are, whenever you're watching. This is episode 3 of the Gospel Disciples podcast. A little different here, as you can see. It is as opposed to you looking at a screen where one person shows up individually. Now you see 5 people around a table here. So you're probably familiar with me, Benjamin Isaiah Black. Let's start this way and just have us introduce ourselves.
Hey everybody, Brianna Black.
What's up? Brian Black II.
Rachel Kathleen Black the first.
Oh my.
I'm Rachel's boyfriend.
That's your name?
No, Dewan. Bro.
Okay.
Soon to be Dewan Black.
Oh my.
You remember Brian from the first episode. Rachel is our sister. Brianna is Brian's wife, and as he mentioned, Dewan is Rachel's boyfriend. And here we are, episode 3 of the Gospel Disciples podcast, and as of the time we're recording this, it is 1 month until Christmas. This episode will be released in December, so because of that, we thought that it would be fun to talk about our favorite gospel Christmas albums.
Yeah.
There are so many that are beloved, so many we grew up with, so many that hold a special place in our hearts. So we wanted to talk about them. Brianna, I'm going to start with you. What?
For what?
Oh, did you want to go first?
No.
Oh, okay. Well then, Brianna, what is one of your favorite gospel Christmas albums?
Definitely Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
His family, I don't know which one it is, but
Christmas.
His Christmas album was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then another for me is the album that Yolanda Adams made. I can't remember what the title of it was. She was wearing blue.
Yeah.
Christmas with Yolanda
Christmas
Adams.
hers. Yep. Yeah. Always a fan favorite. Always. So.
Yes.
Yeah, just bangers on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Classics.
Brian, what are some of yours?
Okay, the first one that comes to mind, the Handel's Messiah, A Soulful Celebration.
Yeah.
I think it technically extends beyond gospel because the point of that whole album was to take like 17 tracks from the original Handel's Messiah and set it in not just gospel, but different genres of Black music. And this came out in the early 90s. So like you have, so you have hip hop, you have jazz, you have some R&B, you have some jazz, big band swing. You have some Sounds of Blackness doing some sounds that are from specific parts of Africa.
The opening track is just them. The overture is just different periods of Black music.
Yeah, like it's literally like a 4-minute walkthrough of different genres, and it's the way they did the whole album is just amazing. Like they, between like Mervyn Warren, Quincy Jones, and some of them, they literally took 17 of some of the both staples from Handel's Messiah, like the Hallelujah chorus, "Friend Was a Child Is Born," and even some of the deep cuts, like "Why Do the Nations Rage," "Glory to God" with the Harlem Boys Choir, like something that like people only know those songs if they do the whole Handel's Messiah work. But it's a great example of you have the whole feeling of Christmas in there. You have creative interpretations and even interpolations of how they took Handel's original work, and you have like it's just a huge outpouring of just African American music, of just Black music in every single track, and with some of the biggest names in Black music at the time. Like Take Six is on a track, Richard Smallwood's on a track, Patty Austin's on a track,
Stevie Wonder,
Commission's on one, the Clark Sisters,
Al
Jarreau, Mike E, Liz Lee, Chris Willis, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Daryl Coley, Stevie Wonder. And then the Hallelujah chorus, like they have like a choir full of like everybody in there. If you watch the music video of that one, like Felicia Rashad's in there, All Take Six is in there. Oh yeah, if you YouTube it, it's like it's just all of them in the choir stand going for broke.
Yeah,
like it's such a blast. Like that album, like
Daryl Cooley was there.
Yeah.
He was, yeah.
He sings that solo at the end. Like the whole thing, just a lot of Black people like they knew that before they knew the real Handel's Messiah, and that was definitely the case for me. Like when I heard the real one,
music theory for me so much. Like when we finally got to the Broke era and learning of like Handel's Messiah, and like because during our test we would always get like a snippet of whatever song, since we were studying that particularly, it's fine, like he would always play, like just a little bit of like the overture or a little bit of Oh Thou Guitarist Design.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I already know this one.
Yeah, it like taught us about music history before we even like really knew what things from that era were. But it still gives you like the creativeness of how they put it in certain Black genres of music. And a lot of gospel lends itself to
Handel was
that.
Black. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like a lot of Baroque music, it comes with improvisation and how they realized keyboard things. And a lot of Black music and jazz and gospel is also based on improvisation in different ways. So like it's just a great mesh. So like the whole thing just sells for me. Like when I then studied it in class later, like in would hear like Every Valley, like the real one, and then I was like, wait, where's the beat?
Where's the drop?
Where's the drop? Where's the 808s? Like what's going on here? Like where is it? Hello? But yeah, man, like I play that for a lot of my like white colleagues in music now, and they'll like it just blows their mind. Like it's just the coolest thing, and it just like it's one of my favorite. Like if I had to introduce Black music to anybody, like in just like a microcosm, like that would like I'd pull that up immediately. So yeah, but it's such a hit.
Yeah, cool. Rachel, favorite Christmas albums?
Oh boy. So one of mine is Andre Crouch.
Yeah,
the gift of Christmas.
That opening alone.
So if y'all remember when, of course, with Dad and his ordering of like, putting the CDs on the rack, it's in alphabetical order. But then he had like, a specific one for like, Christmas ones.
Yep.
And Andre Crouch, his last name started with C, was always at the top.
Yep.
So, there'll be times because you're nerds and because I'm a nerd, where we would like go in order. So not only would I always like listen to that album first, but just that first track alone with like Yolanda Adams and how it kicks in. It starts with like the chimes and the bells and whatnot, and then just like the music just amps up
yeah.
That's probably we'll get into it, but like that version of "Oh Come All You Faithful" makes me the most excited of like that song. It's like that carol.
It's such an introduction on the album, and I think that because that's one of the first Christmas albums that we have in our consciousness, anytime that not only that album, but especially that song, I think anytime it comes on, I because we just had it yesterday, right? When Dad was playing that song, and as soon as it came on, I was like, yeah, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's Christmas
you just hearing them like, oh, it is that time of year.
Yes.
And the chanting that continues to come back, that choir was all in the same chord.
Mary's poor child, Jesus.
That song
was born in the manger in a time of Bethlehem. Yes.
Recite that whole thing. Man, just so many good ones. And Andre Crouch's voice is very just unique, of having like this very like raspiness, but like a warmness to it, and still staying like within. It's hard to explain, but it just like his presence and his resonance like of singing is just so like needed in like this corner of like gospel music.
Yeah.
And part of why I like it within like Christmas, it just kind of brings like that warmness to Christmas time.
I think that's a good way to describe it. Yeah. Like he brought that was part of his legacy and like building gospel development, was like he brought like this kind of soulful presence, but like he did have like a warmth with it that I think, I'm pretty sure that inspired like a lot of other people that kind of came behind him. But like on that album, when you're talking about something that wants to set up like a Christmas, like a warm atmosphere, like that doesn't.
Yeah. Something I love about Andre Crouch, I know that this is only our third episode here, but something that we mentioned earlier is that what you could track throughout his career in gospel music is that I think oftentimes older people in gospel music, older saints, they want a particular style. They want it done a particular way. If it's not this, then it's not gospel. Not always, but oftentimes that's the mentality. But with Andre Crouch, he was always looking to diversify his music sound. He was always looking to do something different, to do something new, and especially on again throughout his entire career, but even on that Christmas album, you had energetic songs. You had fast, energetic songs like "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," but then you could also have something slower, like his rendition of "Away in a Manger,"
or you see it because he did like I think 2 different melodies, of like three songs on the album. So the first one actually came right after "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," and he did "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas," which he did, and it's just a nice, like, the slow version of it. And then going into the Christmas song, and then "Jingle Bells," which is
that whole medley.
Yep.
Banger.
Love that. Duan, are there any that stand out to you at all?
To me, since I didn't necessarily grow up with it like y'all, so but the ones that stand out to me that I don't even know if we talked about this. Is not to steal from Bree, but the Yolanda Adams.
Yeah,
okay. You may want to lean in.
The Yolanda Adams like album. I think because she got the blue one, then it's like one. It's like a gold cover.
Yeah. That one is What a Wonderful Time.
And I think it was yesterday you was asking me like, you know what this is? And I'm like, it's Yolanda. Like, you know what I mean? Because she probably her and like CeCe Winans, solid. Probably the ones that like just hit my ear different. Like somebody said it. They said it about somebody else, but I love how they phrase it. Like they just got the voice of the ancestors. Wow. It's like they just got the voice of the ancestors. Like, that's how I would say Yolanda Adams. Like her voice is just so clean. It's always on pitch. It's always on point. It never sounds like she's trying. It's just effortless. So I'll say Yolanda Adams, probably one of those 2 albums. I don't remember like to memory all the way, but just when I hear songs of those 2, it always catch my ear. Like
so solid.
That's a good one.
Whenever I think of Yolanda Adams Christmas, one of the things that first comes to mind is on that What a Wonderful Time album. She does this really jazzy rendition. What? Oh, now I got to look it up. I'm trying to remember what song it is. It's no, it's not that one. It's track number 4 on the What a Wonderful Time. Jingle Bells.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. Okay. Oh
yes. There was something about because that came out 2007, so I was in high school, and I remember Dad playing it, and when that song played, I remember just like this, like at attention, like this is nice. What is this? And her first Christmas album, Christmas with Yolanda Adams, I really enjoyed that album. That was really good.
If you were a black mom in the 90s, you were playing you some Yolanda Adams. It was going to be on in that house
at some point in time.
It's at some point.
Yeah, I think some of my favorites. I love Kirk Franklin and the Family's Christmas album.
We wore that one out.
Which for a long time, because of how it looked on the album and because of also how it appeared whenever you tried looking it up online, for the longest time, I thought the album was called Kirk Franklin and the Family Christmas. And then
it's not?
No, because now it's just identified as Christmas.
Really?
The artist is Kirk Franklin and the Family.
That's an original.
I don't think I thought it was Kirk Franklin and the Family Christmas.
The artist is Kirk Franklin and the Family, but the title of the album is Christmas.
Has it always been that?
It is. Right.
This is some Mandela. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange. But I love that album. I think that
what caused you to look at that a little closer? Like, what is
it? Was just something that whenever I looked up Kirk Franklin for a while, because I would, if he ever came to mind and I just wanted to look up something on, say, Wikipedia, which is not, of course, the most reliable source for information. But when I did so, and I would try to look at each of his albums, for a while, the second album would come up, Kirk Franklin and the Family Christmas, and then after a while it would just show up as Christmas, which is hilarious.
Be called Kirk Franklin and the Family Christmas.
I think it can take it either way.
Sold it like that's probably how they marketed it. You know what I'm saying? But like it is just called Kirk Franklin and the Family
Christmas.
I think either way it's a very weird album, because the first album was, of course, Kirk Franklin and the Family. So then you just do the first album, you do the first title again, but add Christmas onto it. That's funny.
I'm sure that's how.
And if it was just called Christmas, well, that's just a holiday. That's not really trying. But however much effort or little effort they put into the title of the album, the actual album itself, of course, goes.
No track on that album misses.
None.
Like every single one. Like I know like the biggest hits or the most popular ones are like those first 2 tracks.
In my opinion, this is my humble opinion. Disagree with me if you want. the album is good. The album is good, but if I don't have anything else, my life needs those first 3 tracks. Silent Night, Now Behold the Lamb, Jesus is the Reason for the Season. Everything else I can take or leave. But those 3, if I don't have those, I feel like I missed it.
See, I don't know. I feel like I need the whole thing. Because it all is just like, it takes you on this like journey. It tells, for me, that's when music did a good job of telling a story. Like, oh, sorry. That's when music did a really, really good job of telling you the story of what the album represented and what it was about. Like, no matter what genre you listen to, we're talking about gospel music, but no matter what genre you listen to, everything matched and was like a cohesive unit. Now I don't really feel like music does that as much because it's like you want to target with a single versus just actually winning people over as an artist.
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin had won over the world as an artist. So then he prepared this like Christmas album with these beloved people, the family that just make Christmas for me. There's just nothing that can touch that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, to your point, and also to your point, where I think those first 3 songs are probably the most recognized and the strongest ones, like within his Christmas album. But when you think about an album, we say like an album, you're thinking of complete work of art. You're not just thinking like song.
Yeah.
And like some albums can be like that, where like, you know, you have like a good amount of songs, but does it feel cohesive from beginning to end? Does it tell a story? Does it feel like a complete work of art? This is a complete work of art. 100%. Like, you know, it can start like mad strong, but guess what? You're gonna go into some other songs of
you
like
cry
to know and to "Oh Come All You Faithful." And there's no Christmas without you. They're not. They don't have to be the strongest songs every time, and the ones that you play over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Or unless they are. But those songs are still strong and they still help to carry without and keep you listening until the end.
I also think if one song on your album can represent the overall message that you're trying to deliver as an artist, you're killing it. Because like there's some skippables for certain albums that you listen to, but like when you listen to it, do you hear the message or the mission of that artist? And I think what you just said about like every single one of those tells Kirk Franklin's story and what he was trying to portray to the world. Yeah.
And I'll add to that. I think like you said, like in the average album, you're gonna have your hits. You're gonna have a few in the middle. They're fine, but you can probably you're probably gonna forget they're there. And I think even a couple of Kirk's other albums, like there's some songs here there, I'm like, oh, I don't remember that was there, right? But I think this one, number one, I think every single one like is a full package deal. And number two, I think like they're not all like as well sung, as well performed as they are. They're not just like other people can perform these too. Like you can take this to like a good choir at your church or your school, whatever, and like they can probably learn and perform it. I've done 1 or 2 of these in other places, and like they're not easy, but like you can do them. So like they're not like necessarily so specific that they're gate kept where they're at. Like you can pick them up and from somewhere else and keep them spreading. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that kind of adds to its staying power because that helps keep the relevance of it going. It's not just listen to it. Like you can do it. You can sing it around your house. You can have a group do it. Like you can do a performance of it. Like you can do any like they're versatile pieces of music.
Yeah.
Also looking at it, The Night That Christ Was Born doesn't get enough love.
I really that was right there.
I wish honestly, that was the time I
honestly
that
if
song, but I love the position of where it's at because it like
because it's towards the end.
Yes. So it helps to like keep the strength of the album. And that song is so amazing.
If Now Behold the Lamb wasn't there, you could pop that one up there. What needed to do.
Since you said that, I'm gonna say this here, which kind of goes back to something that Gabriel and I said on the last episode. That as a kid, as a young, energetic kid who just wanted to be entertained, my go-to for this album was Jesus Is the Reason for the Season. Which still goes, which is still a banger of a song. It's still awesome. But now as an adult, Now Behold the Lamb.
Oh,
it does hit a little different.
Hitting every time. Hitting every time.
I can't imagine skipping this song.
Yeah, man.
See, I love that album. I think another one for me is Donald Lawrence's album, Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers. Hello Christmas. Yeah. That album is another one that we grew up with. I do have one beef with both of those albums, that being that the final track is a remix of a song from their last albums, which...
Why is it a beef? They're fun.
I didn't ever need that.
People were doing remixes all the time back then. Escape.
Yeah, but I didn't. I think with those remixes, I was just like, I don't. I'm not against remixes. Just those, both of those. I'm like, I don't.
Well, one, I think I understand like for both of them why they did it, because it's like, oh, for maybe if there is this, if this draws any new like artists or like other people who like started to become familiarized with both Kirk Franklin and Donald Lawrence, like, oh, don't forget that I did Silver and Gold, which went it was a more popular song, and especially Stranger at the time for Donald Lawrence was popular, so it's like we can also do remixes and stuff. However, when I go back and I listen to Hello Christmas, I don't really need a Stranger remix. It's good, it's fine, but it's also like I don't need it. It was a good mix. Silver and Gold. I need that.
Gotta have it. Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
I'll agree with that.
Okay, that's fair. It was funny though. It was funny though because they came out 2 years from each other. Christmas, Kirk Franklin came out in '95. Hello Christmas for Donald Lawrence came out in '97. We were raised on those albums at the same time. We listened to them at the same time. So at the time, I was thinking, is this just a thing for gospel artists? Do they just end their Christmas albums with remixes of one of their popular songs that doesn't have to do with Christmas?
I see it more as a bonus, like how especially with Donald Lawrence's album. When I go through it, I always in my mind, it just goes where like absent from the body, present in the presence of the Lord.
Yes,
that feels like a last song, and it ends strong.
It does.
And I see Stranger, the remix, as a bonus track.
That makes sense.
Too bad we didn't get you on Yolanda's Christmas album. We didn't get a remix off of that. I want to hear it. The battle is not yours.
All right.
It's the Lord. I don't know.
And or already, right?
Somebody figure it out. I mean, she's still out here. It's not too late.
It's not
too late. That is funny.
Yeah, we can get a little club mix out of Yolanda. Come on.
Oh my god.
No, you
come back.
You surprised me because I thought that you were going to mention a few albums that I love as well. They're some of my favorite Christmas albums ever. And they're also some of my favorite albums by this artist. I was surprised that you didn't bring up any of Take Six's albums.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I
go through them in one, cut us off. This is your fault.
Okay.
He's got notes.
I'm sorry.
You're trying to give me a script here.
No. I was just saying I also love Take Six's Christmas albums, and I know that you do too.
Yeah, well, it's crazy to think they have 3.
Yes.
Like they've done 3 and they're all good. Like all 3 of them are great. Like it was like they did a earlier 90s one. That was like one of their first 3 albums of the Christmas album. And they did like a later, like I think their second was like 99, then their last one was like 2010 or 11. But all 3 of them are like quality. Like none, I don't know that I would necessarily put one over the other so much. But like all 3 of them are like the core Take Six sound that every other a cappella group tries to create. Which I mean, those are the best. Like I mean, they're technically not a gospel group necessarily, but because they all had that in their background, you can still kind of hear that and how they craft the density of some of their harmonies. Like they just with all the added notes and how they shape their texture and their movements and things like that. But you also, similarly to what Rachel was saying about Andre Croucher's album, like you get a good sense of a Christmas type of atmosphere. Like there's a warmth to it. There's some, whether they're doing an a cappella track or some extra things in there. One of Dad's favorite tracks off of their second Christmas album is their setting of the Christmas song. And it's very simple. It's just piano. It's coming by piano, a very still drum set, and bass, and it's just them looping Christmas song over it. And it's it's a very relaxed, calming aesthetic of like it gives you like a very intimate setting of like just a few people standing around the piano singing to, or like a lounge, something like that of a group doing it, which is pretty cool. And I do agree. I think it's one of the best, if not the best. So they've got some standards with that, and then some other like really fun ones too in there. Their last one had that setting of the Grinch between Claude and Alvin, the tenor,
that was Claude,
the bass, Claude, and Alvin. which is really fun. That's a very hidden trademark of a few of these gospel Christmas albums. Like they would still throw something in there that was like definitely a kid song, but like they would put their spin on it and make it like a family, make it like more fun for like the family to listen to because they knew you were listening to everything else in here.
So. Going back to Donald Lawrence's album, I loved as a kid and as an adult, I still love his rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed
That
Reindeer.
was
as a kid,
yeah.
Same like we said for Jesus Reason, like
that's
also
yes.
Yeah, because it was like hip hoppy, but it was still gospel. But and you could tell they were just having fun doing it.
Yeah.
I would say to real quick with Don Lawrence because
I'm sorry.
He really this is actually one of my favorite Christmas songs. Just his own renditions of the different songs are great, and I think that what he does, one of the elements he does well is just simplicity.
Mm-hmm. I agree
because his have yourself a very merry. I can't talk. Have yourself a very Merry Christmas. It's probably one of my favorites. It's just like the choir doing the oohs and the snaps and
I want the to that one
just like that. And then his original songs as well. From it starts off strong and ends strong, and some of the middle in my opinion, I don't think there's anything really skippable or anything.
No, not really.
Yeah.
He also had his he added on, I think, to Thomas Whitfield's arrangement of The Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah. Yep. That was good. That was right.
That was fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, he did this is very much a side note. He did a good job on paying homage to other gospel greats because he was so well studied and well versed in just music in general, let alone gospel in church music. So, things like that. I know he did that with collabs he's done with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Like he most recently has that collab that he just put out with honoring some Tricky Clark music, where he collabed with Jason X Ferdinand singers and them. But I mean that's just a Don Lawrence thing, period.
Yeah.
And not that he sings often or anything like that or known to be a singer, but when he does, I think it's something that is beautiful and very unique and sacred. So when he does Hello Christmas and it's just him and music, it's just very personal and you kind of feel that.
Yeah, he gets music.
Here's a question I have. There are a few albums that I wanted to lightly touch on, but I wanted to ask this: do you guys consider? Because I do. I just want to know what you guys think. Whitney Houston's album, the soundtrack to The Preacher's Wife. Would you put that in there as a gospel Christmas album?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
1000%. Yeah, I mean, obviously,
there's some songs on there that's not gospel, like Step by Step, things like that.
Step by Step,
or I Believe in You.
Exactly.
Here's my thing. If I'm gonna,
I love it. I'm gonna listen to it at Christmas time.
I feel like if it maintains the aesthetic of gospel and a fair amount of it, and it keeps things consistent with the sound across the whole thing, even if it varies into some other genres, because a lot of these other gospel albums, they integrate other genres in some way, shape, or form. Like James Hall integrates jazz. Handel's Soul for Messiah integrates a bunch of other genres. And whether they're focused by that track or whatever. Preacher's Wife does that a little, somewhat a little more subtly in some ways, but it's still you have the Georgia Mass Choir singing gospel tracks, singing, backing her up behind her, Joy to the World by itself with her leading. That's all you that if that was the only thing you had in there, that would do.
Yep.
Sure.
I mean, if Don Lawrence can remix Stranger, it's not a Christmas song.
Oh my God.
We can get away with Step by Step.
Right. I'm let it fly. Give them that. And it had some of the same at the time. It had some of the same producers and arrangers working on that soundtrack. Mervyn Warren did the majority of that soundtrack.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he was also working on Soul for Messiah, Take Sixes. He just came out of doing all the Take Sixes stuff when he was singing with them. He was everywhere. So he brought, and if you listen, he brought a lot of the same gospel aesthetic and writing and things and technique to that album. Whitney and the Georgia Mass Choir are just delivering it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all there. The rest of it, it's
that was busy.
You used this analogy for something once. It's like a chili mix of putting in all the different things that contribute to that aesthetic. This bowl may look different than this bowl, but the ingredients are there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw in a few different, dashes of seasoning or ingredients or whatever to make it look like what that particular thing would look like. So and that one qualifies for me.
One of my favorite songs from that album, one of my favorite songs, one of Fatima's favorite songs, my wife, I believe one of your favorite songs as well, I think, is Who Would Imagine a King?
I was thinking about that one.
Every time.
Yes.
Banger.
Every
Yes.
time.
Joy to the World, I love that song. That's definitely one of my favorites, but that I don't know which one I would if I'm not going to do that to myself. I was going to ask which one I would rather take. I have no idea, but I know that. But I know that up there, it's right along with that. For me, is Who Would Imagine a King? Like if for whatever reason I couldn't listen to the whole soundtrack, I'm like, just give me those two and I'll be good.
Yeah. Secret plug. If you can't find your Preacher's Wife DVD and you're trying to watch it this season, it is streaming on Tubi for free. You got to put it with a couple ads, but it's there. If you're trying to get your fix, it's in there.
We are not sponsored by Tubi.
If we were,
we're not promoting them.
Nobody is, but it's there. I'm just saying it's there.
So you promote Tubi, but not Arby's.
Wow.
Well, hey, wait a minute. Okay.
So
if you want some roast beef and you're over the age of 55, go to Arby's.
We are an Arby's loving family here.
So now that we're done from that word, not from a sponsor.
You two about to throw us off.
Hey, let's talk about this.
This is not what we are here for.
We gotta
no.
They have the meats.
No,
they have the meat.
Good.
Wait, when I go to
Stop. No.
I can, right there. I can get a gyro. I can get a turkey bacon ranch sandwich. I can get I can get mozzarella sticks. I can get curly fries. I can get a salad. Exactly. I can get anything I want.
Get some healthy for today.
That's right.
A little bit more.
If I'm feeling like, Brianna, you need to have a turkey sandwich. I can get a turkey sandwich. Exactly. Asking for extra lettuce, no attitude. Some fast food places you go to, don't ask for extra nothing. Exactly. You're getting it just like it's on the menu. Sauce.
Arby's is giving me plenty of attitude.
Horsey sauce by the dozen.
Exactly.
I love Arby's.
I don't think you're allowed to add to be going to the Arby's.
So now that we're done.
I just might get some of that.
So now that we're done from this word, not from our sponsor,
leave it in the comments if you enjoy Arby's or not.
Arby's has been established.
Bomb.
Fire of you.
Fire.
And while you're eating your Arby's, go on Tubi and watch The Preacher's Wife, and watch Denzel Washington try to speak The Preacher's Wife.
What's up, bro?
Y'all remember when we saw it the first time when we ran this house?
I do, yeah.
Like an iconic day.
It was
iconic.
I remember watching it one day at our house when we were sick, and as the opening credits are going, I'm reading along with them. I see Denzel Washington, then another name comes up, and I say Whitey Houston. And Mom busts out laughing, and she says, "No, that's Whitney Houston."
Oh my God!
I said, "Oh, I could not read."
See, that's why you can't get to Arby's because it's a big menu.
Yeah. We were off
a lot of choices.
We were off of that.
They had nothing to do with him being a child learning to
read. He don't know how to read his blessings.
He doesn't
know how to read his blessings.
Shut up.
It's right here for the burger meal. It's at Arby's. It's not in any other fast food establishment.
You don't brought a Tubi. You don't brought Arby's. You're bringing a good burger now.
Turkey.
I feel like you two about to throw us on Tubi for this.
Well,
you have to go over there.
If you want to get sponsored, hang with Arby's.
Residuals.
That's right.
Y'all are
more than 2.
I don't like this. Oh gosh.
Mom's contract's gonna be renegotiated after this.
As it grows, we'll contract.
That's right. That's right.
It's like LeBron's contract. We're gonna keep renegotiating.
This is second.
So if y'all hit like 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna renegotiate.
Yep, we're gonna read it.
We're gonna renegotiate.
That's right.
So like and subscribe.
100,000.
You know,
like button, bell notifications.
That's right. Share it with a friend.
We'll negotiate percentages.
Talk about it. That's right. You'll have to talk to our lawyers.
2 pennies is what I can afford.
But no, you're gonna at least have to get us an Arby's meal. $10.
I love you so much more than that.
No, Arby's is best.
Oh gosh,
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
So good.
Now, time out.
No, wait. The crinkle fries.
No, wait. So
Critical
let me try to bring us back. Do any of you have any opinions of Fred Hammond's Christmas album?
Banger.
I was just listening to
Another
that.
one. Once again, you cut us off.
I'm sorry.
Fred
That's what Rachel
Hammond,
Banger.
Get it.
amazing.
Banger.
Yeah.
And the thing with him, so
That album didn't get enough love from me.
it didn't.
Yeah.
So underwhelming with the love.
So-
And it's a so overwhelming album.
Yeah.
Like
good.
he is an incredible artist.
Right.
Already one of my
Mhm.
favorites.
Let me
And then what's great is because like he just makes his own like original
Yes.
song.
Yes.
Like it just works.
Yeah,
His
it's
Yeah.
original.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what was great with like Kirk Franklin and not trying to like necessarily compare. I'm just what I'm saying is like what he did great with his album is like taking these, original hymns and
Yes.
familiar tunes and carols and like make it and create his own.
Right.
And like Fred Hammond, like using like some of those like elements from Christmas songs and hymns, like just makes his own song.
Yeah.
The whole album
It's
feels like just
amazing.
like his love letter to Jesus being born, basically.
Yes.
Like it's real mellow, it's real chill, like it's just like Christmas worship.
Banger
music.
after
It's just
banger
him
after
saying like,
banger.
hey,
Strange
Jesus,
way
thank
to
you.
save
Like,
the
that's it.
world.
Woo.
Yeah.
Tearing me down every time.
Oh no, never mind. I was about to say I just realized that he also had his thing that Kirk Franklin and Donald Lawrence had on theirs as well, but not entirely. With them, where they had the remixes, I was looking at this. I realized he has "Blessings and Honor" reprise, which was, of course, from the Spirit of David album. But it's a reprise, not a remix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's still a good one.
It's cool.
And what he did, like for instance, with "Go Town on the Mountain," you listen to his version, and you would think that like
You're gonna be done.
and that's it.
Mhm.
He makes it original. And then like all his other ones, like "Go Gabriel," "Just Remember," I can have on repeat.
Just remember, his name is Jesus. I love that.
He
is the reason. Yep. That goes.
Mhm.
Does anyone have?
"Child to Save the World"?
Mm.
Suddenly, like all of these.
I know you have a particular song that you like from this album. I'm curious if you guys are familiar at all with or what you think about, because it's not one that often comes up with in conversation. But how you guys feel about Nicole C. Mullen's Christmas album?
Oh yeah. That's kind of a underrated gem.
It is.
I
It's real
think
nice.
so.
It's a real cute album.
I think so. Yeah.
It is. Yeah, Nicole C. Mullen has been on the scene in some years, but when she was in like the early-ish to mid 2000s, I think. Like
90s to 2000.
Yeah.
2010s actually.
Yeah, her and her husband used to make some real nice music. Yeah, her Lamb of God was the one that Rachel and I used to sing a lot.
Yeah.
Back in the day. It was a good, it's a good duet.
I enjoyed that complete album, from the top to the bottom. I think her arrangement of "Oh Come Emmanuel" is probably
hers is really good.
It's probably one of my favorite versions of that song.
Yeah. You know who else we need to throw out is the one and the only Pastor John
Prince Key.
The Prince.
Yes, his whole album. She was the title. John B. Key and the New Life Community Choirs, A Special Christmas Gift. Album full of bangers. He like some of his originals. Well, he has some originals, but he also like takes like First Noel and some of those other originals and like just does them up. Like his Joy to the World is literally just like a processional. His First Noel is just him soloing and crooning and like going for broke. Like he goes way harder on it than like anyone ever should. Just like
I'm looking at it now. I didn't realize "Celebrate" was number one. I thought that came later. So
yeah, Celebrate
Celebrate
on its own kicks off the album. Like you could just that track should like I'm surprised it's not like 10 minutes because it's just like him in the choir vamping and then the saxophone riffing for a while. But it's just great. Like the whole thing, like it immediately puts you in like a party mood for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then he ends that album with Perfect Plan, which is more, he would usually have like a kind of a hip hop track somewhere in there in most of his 90s and 2000s albums. Just because he liked mixing in contemporary sounds whenever he could, and bringing people in to do it. So that one has like a little bit of a rap, but yeah, I mean, every single track on that one, just go listen to it. It's
Let
a good
Us
time.
Adore Him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great song.
And he has that Christmas is Jesus Christ, where he brings his grandfather in.
Yes.
Which I think is just him doing a voice, but it's still funny.
It's a fun time.
That is a good time. I remember as a kid, I thought that was, for whatever reason, I thought that was TD Jakes.
Wow.
TD Jakes.
Wow.
I did.
Benjamin.
I did. I thought
it's like a very on purpose, over dramatized, like old man voice.
It is, but
TD Jakes was not like over the top old man.
It reminded me of TD Jakes. As a kid, it reminded me of TD Jakes.
That's just what he felt like.
As a kid,
what's the thing?
What was the song called?
10 toes down, TD Jakes.
It was called Christmas is Jesus Christ. I was about to play it, but I don't want us to.
No.
Copyrighted.
Let's not get demonetized here.
Yeah.
Because
the
Arby's
point
is trying to pick us up.
Yes.
Yeah, they love our jumpy key talk.
Yeah.
But there are a few that I'm just gonna run through. I'm not really gonna dwell on them, but James Hall.
Every time.
What was that one? A James Hall Christmas. A James Hall Christmas.
He needs to put another one out, man.
Honestly, it can be James Hall and Kevin Bond, because him with the interlude every other time.
Kevin Bond and his barking of the biggest words in the dictionary you ever heard. Like, I can't really think of anything right now, but like that's every interlude. He's reading scripture and he's reading like paraphrases of scripture with like the biggest, most theological, like seminary words on the face of the planet. And you're just like, oh yeah, okay. Like it makes you like sit up in your seat and then they get into a song.
No, I don't know if it's a hot take or anything, but I don't think so. But like I love James Hall. Always a fan, always one of my favorites. I didn't need all the interludes.
It is a lot of interludes.
You didn't want so much Kevin Bond?
No, I love Kevin Bond, but just the interlude, like it can be anybody. I love his voice. It's just like doing it every other song. You know what I mean? It's just like, let me just get to the song.
I get
Or like if you have at least two interludes.
They
like
the choir needed a break from all that barking.
I mean, this is an album. This is what I'm gonna listen to. If they need a break, like they're recording. That's on them.
How else would he show off his word of the day?
It is word of the day. Hey, but you know what? That album does my favorite rendition of Joy to the World. Immediately, doesn't it start isn't it the first track?
No, I think it might be like.
But either way, yeah, immediately like, boom, Joy to the World.
Oh no, it starts off with B3 Kings.
Oh yeah,
and his version of that.
They ease you into it, but that one it cooks instantly. Like you have no choice to catch up. Like there's no space. Like they just throw you right in. It's a hard. Like it's probably one of the most like gospel songs he's produced, I think, ever. Like it's not his jazz influence. Like it's just legitimately like hard gospel. They're up in the rafters, like barking "Joy to the World," and not on the original melody. And they vamp it like crazy.
Unto Us a Child is Born. Top tier. What a Miracle.
What a Miracle. That's one of my favorites.
Joy to the World. I will say, I think something that's underrated was Whiter Than Snow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's a little more jazzy.
I like it.
The man's a genius.
Any others before a few that I just throw out? I'm not going to dwell on them very much, but just say that I really appreciate them. But any others that come to mind?
This is kind of a deep cut. Mississippi Mass Choir has a pretty good one.
I have not heard that album at all.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They have a good rendition of Go Tell It on the Mountain. Go tell it on the mountain. Like it sounds like when your old church choir would like bark and have a great time.
Nice.
So it's very like emblematic of traditional gospel.
Okay. And Rachel, what's yours?
Richard Smallwood.
That's
Glory and
That's yeah. For a long time, I kept bopping to his rendition of the Little Drummer Boy as well.
Yeah.
Rejoice.
Yeah.
Follow the star. Follow the star.
A few of mine, again, I'll just throw them out there real quick. Speaking of which, TD Jakes presents Follow the Star.
Did he have that voice?
2003. Well, not that one, but it was. No, it was his actual voice. It was his actual voice. But that album,
great compilation.
not a compilation, but various artists. Yeah. Do we still have the DVD? Yeah. I think so, but I think it skips, unfortunately.
That's wild.
Shows how much we love it. But that one, I love that one. Israel Houghton and New Breeds Christmas album, A Time of Christmas. It is. Listen here, that is a fantastic album. It is.
We were doing just fine.
That is a fantastic album. It is.
I was a little nervous for your sake that was going to come up.
That is a great album. Mary. It's. You cannot deny it's a great album. Mary's Christmas album.
You know
I'm not listening.
Okay. That's a good album. Mary's Christmas album of Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The entire album is good. I love Call Him Jesus. Just that track just hits every time.
Yeah.
Vicki Winans' Christmas album, Happy Holidays.
Right, Vicky.
She was having fun.
She
was making herself a cute little bag back in the day.
She did. She took it upon herself. She took it upon herself to do Joyful, We Adore Thee from Sister Act 2. And she did it and she slammed it. It was just great.
So dunked it, alley ooped.
Yeah.
Touchdown it or whatever you
That's
you
what I need.
Jorge.
That's what I need, man. A beauty shop.
Jorge's.
Bring it back.
No, where's Ruben Studdard's Christmas? That's
all right, we were doing just
that. That was it. That was
too
far. Beauty shop was fun, but no Ruben Studdard. What's that?
I have to.
Okay.
All right. One. I'm speaking for my father, but I know for myself as well. Was Pastor Michael A. Lowry?
Yep, I was just about to say yep. Mm-hmm.
Hands down, 10 toes down. Great writer. So man, there's so many people that just don't know him that should. But no, every song on that album
is they're all good.
And I'm cheating with this one because she's not a gospel artist, but I think for her first Christmas album, Mariah Carey, she does have
talk about it.
She has like songs on there that are like gospel, like that she does in the traditional gospel. It's
she like some gospel. You're right.
Yeah.
And it's a great album. Like, say what you want about All I Want for Christmas Is You, but talk about her other Christmas songs.
What a Wonderful Child.
That one cooks.
Silent Nights.
Jesus Born on This Day. She does Joyful World. You said Oh Wonderful Child. But yeah, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Like, she does these in the traditional gospel way.
Mm-hmm. And it goes hard.
Oh Holy Night.
And they're not a surprise. Like, if you said enough of Mariah Carey beyond like her top tier popular hits, like she was in that style.
Exactly. Yeah. She was. That's how she, was raised.
Yeah.
So that's how she did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I want to throw out or give a shout out to one I just learned recently. Isaac Cates had a Christmas album some years ago. Since I'm studying him right now, I found his it was an EP he put out about almost 10 years ago. Carol of the Bells. He has a lot of his work is infusing a lot of his work is infusing classical and gospel style. So like his Carol of the Bells, like it literally quotes the traditional 4-part choral Carol of the Bells, and then it goes into some other like added gospel development after that. But then the rest of the album like does some of the same, like he does Little Drummer Boy, I Call You Faithful, and some of it is mixes of classical piano solos they would from like Beethoven and some of his contemporaries, and then devolves into a Christmas carol.
Mm-hmm.
But it still does have like some gospel infusion into that at the foundation, so that's worth checking out.
Okay.
Nice.
Going back to
the lighting for this one a little bit.
Yeah. Can you turn the light on? I don't know if that will help or not, but let's see if it does.
Going back to Michael Lowry real quick. So I don't. Yeah. If you try to find out streaming, you can't find the complete album, but you can find the songs individually, like how they're uploaded. It's a little weird, but
so which one?
Michael Lowry.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I discovered that too. Actually.
Yeah, you can't find it in a complete album. They like how it was uploaded was just like each song individually. But when you get to them, they blow the house down every time. And Keeper, like the best version of like his perspective of like I
love this song, Christmas.
Silent Night. Silent Night, holy night, all is gone. It's great.
I love. We can't close that one, but thank you. I from that album, I really love Christmas Tree. The very first Christmas tree.
Yeah, that was good.
And I'll also throw this out for Dad because I know he loved this album too. Daryl Coley's Christmas album.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that was great.
Wow.
I was just telling Dad last night about a song he has on that album, God's Own Son. That song goes.
Dang, I haven't heard that.
That is that
I need
is
to go
very,
back and
very
listen.
much a blessing to my soul.
One.
So let's go ahead. Let's start wrapping this up here. I'm gonna ask us this will be one of the final things here. I'm gonna throw some names of some Christmas songs out there. A few hymns, sacred songs, a few secular songs and carols, and just tell me whether it be a gospel artist or even if it's another artist, your favorite, who has your favorite rendition of that song.
Okay.
Away in the Manger. And Lean.
You got to come back to me on that.
Okay. I will go. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me go to another song then, because everyone. I'll say my favorite of that is probably. I'll probably change that later. I'll probably have to think about it. I'll say Nicole C. Mullen. Okay. But Silent Night.
Ooh.
I know there are a lot.
Yolanda Adams. I mean, to me, nobody
can't
touch it.
She can't do.
Yeah, I'm going Yolanda Adams 100%.
Okay.
I agree. She's my number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, as a run-up for me, will be Kirk Franklin.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorites.
Oh.
But how it's done voices and how she do it, Yolanda Adams every time.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I do like on Take Six's first Christmas album. They opened.
Oh yes, that's good.
Night. I'm a little partial to people who like they did like some kind of rearrangement of the melody itself in a good creative way and made it work instead of just arranging the original tune. And like I think they do a good job of that.
Wait. Temptations.
I was about to say that.
Okay.
Where are we at?
Where are we at?
When Fatima watches this later, I know that she would be ticked off if no one said Temptation. Silent.
Yeah.
As well as others.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We have Christmas out there.
Yes.
For me, that's the song. Like,
Absolutely.
Like every Christmas morning, like if I don't hear Silent Night at some point,
exactly,
it don't feel right.
Yeah.
It don't feel like.
Yeah, whoever you are, wherever you're at, you got to hear a Silent Night.
That's
true. Or the holiday doesn't happen.
And you got to hear Blue.
Yes.
You got to hear Blue.
Yeah.
You just got to hear it.
Yes, indeed. What about, you had mentioned Take Six a moment ago. They have my favorite rendition of this song. What about O Come All Ye Faithful?
I do like theirs.
Andre Kosh.
That's a he does a good
one. It has it.
I'm gonna go Kirk Franklin on this one.
Andre and Yolanda. You said Kirk Franklin.
I'm going Kirk Franklin.
I want to add because I performed that once, and it's from a choir director's perspective, it's hard. A lot of Kirk's hardest stuff is hard to do and to perform because the vamps get so broken up, and there's too much to start or to direct at the same time. But it's still well done. Like it's extremely well done. Mm-hmm. And his soloist on there is just par none. Whichever member of the family solos that one, kills it.
Yeah. Joy to the World.
James Hall. Period.
Oh,
with Preacher's Wife is a very close.
Those two. I'm about to say
no. I love the Preacher's Wife one, but the James Hall one is just so much fun for me. Like those two are right.
Interesting.
They're neck and neck.
Fun as an artist or fun as a consumer? Because if you're talking fun as an art, like a music artist, someone who studies it, yes. But as a consumer, which would you pick?
As a consumer, James Hall.
Really?
Yes. I've also performed the Whitney Houston version at Mervyn Warren Arrange several times. So as a performer, like I've gotten everything I need to get out of that. But it exhausts me. But it's all like you as a choir director, you got to be in it to win it. Like that's like it's showtime. You got to be ready to perform, and your soloist has to be ready to perform. But it's a blast. But as a consumer, the James Hall version.
What I like of both of those being my favorite as well, and it's sometimes hard to pick. Like I go back and forth, because the traditional song how it is, it's like a moderate tempo, like that, right, and like just how it's sung. And when you think of joy, and especially in the context of Christmas and Jesus' birth and whatnot, like it means so much. And I think both those versions of just being like so high energy and just like adrenaline and whatnot is what gets me every time. And like it really puts the joy in it.
Yeah. That's my favorite. I think Joy of the World is probably my favorite Christmas song, period. And like both of those, I think, do that exact same thing for me.
Those were my favorite.
My two favorites are probably Whitney Houston, and then after that, Mariah Carey's.
Mariah Carey's good too.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, because she also, ironically, and it's probably smart that she did it this way, but I find it funny and interesting that she did not only the Joy to the World hymn, but she also incorporated for the bridge. She also incorporated Joy to the World by Three Dogs Night. Joy to the world. She changed the lyrics, but there is this joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the people in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. I love that song. And again, she redid the lyrics for it, but it was that same melody for the bridge of her Joy to the World.
Yeah.
Which is just really smart. And I really like that. Yeah. Okay. What about so some secular songs and some carols? I'll Be Home for Christmas. Any favorite arrangement or rendition of that?
Take Six. Off their third Christmas album. That one.
I would say that, and a second for me, or maybe it wins it by a hair. I don't know which one I love more. I also love Whitney Houston's rendition.
Yeah, that one's also
that one
really
is
good.
Yes, Take Sixes is fantastic. It's just the six of them and their voices. Whitney Houston's is just her and an electric piano, and it's very smooth. Yeah, and very nice. I just really like that.
I think I fell in love with their version with Take Sixes overall. Was like when they came to Ashland. And just seeing them do it live. Yeah. When you see somebody do it live, any song performance, that like already wins you over, like on top of like, listening to it, like streaming wise and whatnot. But when you see it live, it's like, oh, I'm in. So that's why Take Six is probably my favorite for that.
That makes sense. I know that this is a song that Fatima is sick of, but let me ask, Carol of the Bells?
Yolanda Adams, because she mixed it so well with the Carol of the Bells. Sorry, with What Child Is This?
Yeah, I do like that one.
I was actually thinking of that this morning because I was listening to the song. I was like, man, I really like this one the best.
Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit because a lot of my like memorable, like I said, choirs do Carol of the Bells all the time. Either that version that most choirs do by Peter Olhowski or something off of that. So I don't feel like I've heard it on a lot of gospel albums.
No, you don't really.
Not really, no. But like that one, I totally forgot that, Take Six did one, Donald Lawrence did one, Yolanda did hers, and Isaac Cates did one. So those are all very different from each other just because they're, some of them are kind of on the simpler-ish side, but you have to, some of them, like they have to be kind of imitative of like things jumping from voice to voice to like give you the bell effect. So I don't know. That's interesting. But yeah, I agree. The Yolanda Adams one is good. I might put the Take Six one behind that.
Brandon, you were about to say something.
Just to go back to the I'll Be Home for Christmas, Michael Bublé.
Oh my God.
We can't skip past that. Like
Christmas album.
Oh,
it's amazing.
It's so good.
Since he brought that up, I love his Christmas album. And since you brought that up, I'm gonna say this wasn't one that I had down, but his rendition of Mary Did You Know is absolutely soul stirring.
Yeah.
Love that so much.
Mary Did You Know? Was it any voice in it? I'm not sure. I forgot. I had to look at it. As you want.
I think you're right.
I think
Pentatonics does a very good version of Mary Did You Know. Who does? Pentatonics.
Oh yeah, I like their version a lot.
Here's one because I'll just ask. Sleigh Bells.
See, Vanessa Williams, and Deepest Christmas Carol. That's what I'm going to care about.
That is exactly why I asked.
That's the only one I
That
care
was
about.
great. I like
From
that.
a Diva's Christmas Carol.
Yes, and why has no one released the soundtrack
I
recording
haven't
for us
either.
to stream? The movie's been out for over 20 years. Like, drop it. I'm sick of this. And Vanessa Williams can sing gospel too. Like, what's going on here? Like, we could be talking about that right now and should be. Justice for Vanessa.
Okay. Vanessa Williams sings gospel.
Yes.
We talked about it.
I'm sick of you.
Wow.
Go back to Baltimore.
Wow.
Okay. Well, happy Thanksgiving to me, I guess. Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Rachel brought up Donald Lawrence's earlier. I really like that one.
That's probably my
It's probably one of the most unique arranged for that one. And it's a good, he makes a good choral piece and a surprisingly good solo standout for him.
Because he can sing, you know, he's not like a Kirk Franklin where Kirk Franklin isn't a singer, but he's still great at making music. Donald Lawrence is great at making music, and he can sing.
Right,
but he doesn't. You don't often you do hear him sing, but not as a soloist.
Right, because a lot of these like male gospel artists who like from the 80s, 90s into the 2000s, they either are really singers like a Fred Hammond or a Tone, or they were really not, like a Kirk or some of them who like they were in front of the choir and they led it and they ran all the things and they wrote prolific music, but they were not a vocalist, and so they just overcompensated by doing other things, which is fine. But Donald Lawrence, like, he also studied voice at CCM and like had training and background in it. So like when he comes out of it, you're like, oh, but like if you know him and studied him, like it's not like it's surprising, but it shouldn't be, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And like he does a beautiful job on that one. Like he could have given that solo to anybody in his group, but like he took and did a great job. So I love that one. I just talked myself into that being my top.
Good.
I think I was looking up something because I'm like, I know I'm missing my main list.
Yes.
Main people, but
That's why I have to keep going through.
John Legend, this is why I say that. His training initially began in just church. Like that's where he sang, that's where he had all his training. So you can hear all those like soulful melodies in his music, no matter what he's saying, right? Like he doesn't have to necessarily be singing gospel music for that. But when he sings that song, it's just like butter. Like to me, in our communities, he just does not get enough love because like his voice is so powerful, but yet so well trained that he can really make it do what he wants it to do, and it's so good. Yeah. I love John Legend. Solid dude, solid artist.
I agree.
To go back to your Sleigh Bells one, I like the Ying Yang Twins. They actually have an own version.
Are you okay?
Juan's about to leave.
He needs an art.
Do you want to lean in to say something?
This is all Rachel.
Okay.
I just want to mention them.
Okay.
Someone got to represent them.
Okay.
The Yin Yang Twins.
Well,
bring up DMX.
We didn't get to them yet. No. What? We didn't get them.
Sorry, Uncle Wayne.
Uncle Wayne.
He can hear one day too.
This is too much for his holy ears.
Dear. Well, let's do this. I think this has been fun. I think we can go ahead and start wrapping it up here.
Get out.
I think that
Go get a good burger from Mars.
No, we're not closing on that. We're not closing it on.
Stay tuned for our New Year's special on Tubi, airing on January 1st.
Stop it.
2024.
Liar.
Brianna,
Stop
eats mozzarella sticks to the New
Stop
Year.
And that's the whole
No,
premise.
you heathens.
Oh,
Stop
God.
it.
That's the whole premise.
$50, you can get what you want. You get the sauce, fries, and a drink.
2 for $7.
Oh,
We shot the whole film on Gabriel's camera for about $50 and put it up. No proofreading.
No cost of labor in there.
Nope.
Dear.
Gabriel's gonna be so mad.
No, you force. No, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully this was as entertaining to you as it was for us. It didn't feel, I don't know how long this has been so far. It didn't feel long doing this. Hopefully it didn't feel long watching. With this being Christmas, I'll say this, and if anyone wants to chime in, then please do. But just remember something that I discovered a couple years years ago, which I'll be talking about more this season, and I hope that you take it to heart as well as that. Oftentimes in the Christmas season, it's so easy for us to get caught up into the holiday season, the rush of it. We get so excited about giving gifts. We want to look up charities and donate to our favorite charities. We want to be able to work so hard into promoting the good in ourselves because Christmas deserves it, which it does. It most absolutely does. But don't forget that for as much as we would love to be able to give the very best of ourselves, and for as tirelessly as we work to do that for our families, for our friends, for our co-workers, for the needy and the homeless around us, for charities and everything, for as hard as we try to work, making sure that we show the best of ourselves, don't forget that you just being who you are, that in and of itself, you and your natural gift, you and your natural personality, in and of itself is a blessing. And don't overlook that, because oftentimes, very oftentimes, God will take those very natural gifts that he has given us and use them for his glory. Within this story that kicked off the whole reason for Christmas, God chose people and just the natural things about them in order to help lead to his son being born into the earth. He chose a young virgin girl who is not told, there's not a lot of information about her in the Bible other than she found favor with God. He took a young man, a carpenter, who again, a lot less is known about him than Mary. He took an innkeeper who did not have any room at his business, but he had a stable and he said, go there. He took shepherds who were not princely, who were not royal, who were not regal, but they were among the first to welcome the Savior into the world. He just chose people who were genuine, who were naturally themselves, and he used them to usher in his gift to the world. Now, if he can do that with them, of course he can do that with us. So as you're looking to bless those around you, just remember you in and of yourself are already a blessing. Remember that this season. And again, thank you for tuning with us. Stay tuned for the next episode. God bless you. Merry Christmas. This is the Gospel Disciples. Until next time.
Go get some Arby's.
That King Cole.
Oh,
That was it.
What's up, Nat King Cole?
Oh my
You
God.
did.
Yeah, and it's
Nat,
good.
It was
Nat
right
King
there. It
Cole.
was right there. So good.
Nat King
That's
Cole.
gotta go in.
Nat King Cole.
Yeah.
It hit my mind in the middle of the talk.
Fantastic.
I didn't want to interrupt because it was great.
Thank you for saying for all of this.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I would have felt
That was
something.
You want to mention
so
Bing
good.
Crosby? Nope.
Well,
Okay. Merry
It's
Christmas.
fine. It's fine.
It's
Nat
cool.
King Cole is a little better
It is. It is. It is.
for the people.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
God bless you.
Arby's.
No.
Get you 2 sandwiches. Get you 2 sandwiches.
2 for $7.
Where am I supposed to stop this?
Right
Whenever.